And welcome to this freshly installed ArcoLinux system. It's the version for mid-November already that we're working on. And the topic of the video is actually something for ArcoLinuxIso. So do check out our other websites. It whole has a meaning why there are 4 or 5 websites of knowledge. ArcoLinuxIso is the idea of teaching people how to build an ISO from scratch, and we thought of a name, and a customized Arch Linux ISO or Carly would be a good way to call it. Now we'll build it up from scratch, but what I'm also combining it for is to have a look at other Arch installers, because we're not uniquely in the world of Arch Linux. There is the archlinux.org, you know, the website, and you go and have a look at the wiki and the download, and this is the installation guide, so you can actually install Arch Linux. If you have issues with ArcoLinux, if you have issues with other Arch Linux based systems, you can always retreat to the fact that you can install Arch Linux from a USB from here. So download the ISO here and then kickstart everything. So the first thing, or the only one thing that's here, is the project Anarchy Linux, and we've made a video about it. Now, to be honest, I'm just a user, right? I'm not part of their team, and we're not going to support anything for them. I mean, it's a separate world, it's another distribution, and you should ask help there. That said, it is interesting to have a look what other distributions do, how they manage to build an Arch Linux installation. At the end, you have an operating system, a free operating system, a super fast free operating system, an Arch Linux based system. And there's another, possibility. There are lots of possibilities. I've been looking into it, but one of them that people say, yeah, you should have to take a look at this ArchFi or this Arch Linux fast installer. Sounds lots better. And there is afterwards, after the fast installer, there's also the desktop installer. So that's something that people, a lot of them said, okay, Eric, have a look at that one, because that's also an interesting one. So the idea is to also look at other ways to install. Calamares is our graphical installer, but it's not the only way to install the system, an Arch Linux system. So this is one of the ways, the wiki, and then you follow the installation guide. But sometimes even this explanation becomes very hard, and you say, I don't get it. So at arcolinuxd.com we have a phase 5, and there's an Arch way, and you go through the phases, and in the end you'll have something nice, and you have a Arch Linux, I don't know, i3WM, and you'll have a look like this one, right? So it's all up to you what you do with your desktop in the end. What I want to do today with you is get started with this ArchFi. Again, we do not support it, of course. You go to this website, and if there are issues, you just say, I have a new issue, and you start writing. Maybe you have some channel you can report or a forum, I don't know, but basically this is where it should be, and not at ArcoLinux. But we do want to give you some more possibilities, to go over some other possibilities to get cracking and then get an Arch Linux installation. Yeah, that's what's important. Super F7 is what we do to launch up VirtualBox, if of course you have installed it. And I'm going to install Arch Linux really, but I'm going to do it with help of a script. Arch Linux has been downloaded, and of course, why not, is going to boot up in my other screen. So boot up and full screen. In the meantime, I need my installation guide to the other page here. Let's first show you what I'll do. I'm gonna follow what says here. Download this one or this one, and then launch it, and the rest we'll have to do ourselves. So we're booting off from the official keyboard. And the next thing I'll do is the keyboard. So we're booting off from the Arch Linux ISO, And one of the first things, if you go through the motions here, is actually make sure that you have the right keys. So I need my AZERTY keys in order to work. Now, a great tip would be, even if, certainly when you have never done Arch Linux installation the Arch way here, please go over the text. See what steps are required. There are also great tutorials in the sense that there's an all-in-one, which means it's just a video you're watching, a whole video from A till Z, and everything is installed. You have an installation Arch Linux deeping or Arch Linux headupsluft WM. And if you're following, if you've seen one of those, or maybe 2 or 3, then you'll see that whatever comes up in this installation and any other of these scripts, that it's going to follow the wiki, more or less. Okay, so you need to know what logical steps are we need to take to have an operating system. If you get that, everything will be just fine. So AZERTY, this is my AZERTY key, right? So load keys BE Latin 1. Right, that's it. Woohoo! I have my AZERTY. Then I'm gonna type over to the other website here, other page, and it says just wget archfi archfast installer sf.net/archfi. Okay, if last time I did this, if there is no response, you don't get the archfi in, there's another URL. So this one, now I tried this one, but last time I had to use that one because it didn't work. Okay, so 2 links, a backup, and then you're already stuck, unfortunately, if you don't know that archfi is not a script. There's only one thing that's a script, and that's the green one up there. That one is a script. You make it executable. Use chmod +x archfi ls-al. Suddenly it has all x's in there, which means execute. So now we can execute, and since we are root in this environment, we actually just need to say launch me archfi if that's enough. And then it's figuring out what am I supposed to do now? What am I supposed to click? So in what language would you like to have this Arch Linux fast installer? What language? I'm gonna choose for English. What keyboard do you want? That's important for me. I need to get my BE Latin 1. So I don't make any typos. If I'm required to type something somewhere, I want this. I have this one. Okay. The editor is optional, but you can just click on Nano, for instance. And then we go for disk partitions. So in the Arch Wiki, you'll see what you can do. And it's of course the most easy way is actually to tell the system just auto partition, since I'm just a beginner. I don't know how to edit partitions and all that. And I tell you, that's the same thing I do in Calamares. I say auto partition me. I'm never going to go into much detail. Don't have the time for it. Auto partition, because all the data I have is in the cloud. I don't care if it's a separate home or not. It's all in the cloud where everything important is. So auto partition GPT is for UEFI. This is for MBR. VirtualBox is set to have MBR, so I'm gonna need the second line. And then auto partition which device? Well, there is only one choice. So okay, that's it. Continue. Yes. I'm working with my arrow keys to say yes and enter. Press any key to continue, and it's a good thing to have a look. So if you're looking at the installation guide that we provide you in phase 5, you'll see in here that we have control find CF disk. We're talking about the same tool, and it's this kind of tool that shows all the partitions. So CF disk, okay, click which device. There is only one, so there you go. So now you know you have a Linux partition, a very small one, which is actually only done if you're in UEFI, but the developer seems to have made the same kind of auto partition here. What is important for us is this one, SDA2 being the swap and SDA3 being the root. Okay, 2 swap, 3 root, and something to boot from. Okay, fine. Enter, we quit. And then you should actually move up. You need to get out of here. The partitions have been created, so you need to get out. So back. Okay, 1 level up in the menu. And then you select the partitions and install. So select the partitions and install. We should use this one, SDA1, to select the boot device. So he's going to change that as boot. I don't think about these things. The selection, auto selection, of course, is set correctly. SDA2 is a swap. Okay, fine. And SDA3 is root, which is okay. Home device, no, we have not created anything. So none. Yes. Format devices, yes, yes. Now what does it say? Select partition format for boot. For boot. Probably is going to want that to be FAT32. I'm going to use this one. Normally I would say not for an MBR, but I'm following a kind of a reasoning for UEFI at this point in time. It's a little bit blurry for what difference. Does not seem to be a difference between how to make partitions for MBR and UEFI, but we'll see how far we get. And we say that one, so that's the root, ext4. We're going to mount things. He's going to mount SDA3 mount. That's exactly the same command you do online and in the tutorial there. Mount boot, okay, fine, and swap on. All right, so those things are all recognizable with the text here. Everything you see in here, but actually we are following more or less this one, UEFI. That's the one we're following. I'll show you. Why not show you? A little bit down there. Okay, maybe a little bit more. It does not say EFI system here, but it's a very small place, the same size as an EFI system. And that's why I took FAT32. And then we have the Linux swap. Where do we see FAT32? It just says EFI system. Unfortunately, you can't read it somewhere, can you? Maybe just when you do a gparted or something like it. Maybe here. Format the partitions. So here we start having that FAT32. You see? So that's the SDA1. That's more or less what I followed in this installation. We're mounting this element, and base has just been changed. It was not a while ago, but certainly not that long ago. Base is changed. We are talking about October the 14th. This was October the 6th. There was a replacement. Base package is now more a base. It used to be a base group and is now a meta package of the same thing. So we need the kernel, an editor, and I'm guessing that our developer, Matmul, has taken that into account, because I saw already a Linux kernel in here, and maybe no nano, but we'll see. We chose nano in the previous context, so surely it's gonna be installed. Here is the kernel being downloaded. So this is the website. If there are issues, do tell him. 29 closed. July the 3rd, January the 1st, June 5, 2018. And here we're starting with 2016. And we can go back until 2015. So it's been around a while. So that's good that it's maintained and people are trying to help with a pull request. Okay, still doing its work. So what we're doing now, we're actually installing stuff. Maybe you saw the word backstrap. So we've mounted this guy. Then the partition has been mounted. I'm wondering if locale, not too soon. Have not done that, I think, yet. The backstrap, that's before here. So this is the thing we are doing right now. On here I said base development, Linux and Linux firmware and Nano to be on there. So we have lots and the most important packages once we boot up again. So that's probably going to be different. We'll see. Okay, looks good. Press any key. So that's this line, right? You saw the text. Backstrap base Linux. So that's the code we just saw earlier on. You can go back. So configure Arch Linux. Fine. What's my computer name? I'm not gonna switch all the time, but go ahead, Control find host name. So we're really going to follow every little step that's in here is going to be in this script, which is surely the following the steps we need to take on an Arch Linux ourselves if we do it manually. So set computer name Arch Linux, why not? Okay. Set keyboard layout, we know what it is, B Latin, it's okay, it's set. Set locale, no, don't want Belgian. I want English. US, that one. So it's generating everything and done. Just like we would do when it's manual work. This is a bit faster, and the more you do it, the faster it gets. It's always the same. The clock is set. Done. Set root password, which is of course a very complex password. We generate a file system. You can do it in the uniquely universal identifier or something like it. This gives us long strings on your FS tab. So, well, why not? That's done. The bootloader. You can choose between group loaders. We at ArcoLinux we take group, and yeah, you choose, but I'm gonna go for grub. So it's going to install things and also make the configuration file. That's what this line says. So install, that's one thing, installing grub. And the bootloader there, you can see grub-m make config there. That's done as well. Okay, and done. Install bootloader grub install. You can edit this thing. So grub timeout, for instance, just to show you that you can edit it. So just 3 seconds, and then it's going to carry on, run. Okay, install the bootloader in device SDA. If you skip this step, all the work is done for nothing. We don't have a grub. You don't boot. So I can't, I press OK, I mean, I can't do anything, so I really need to go back one level up. So a little bit, And then enable DHCPCDs, or the DH Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol daemon. Enable it, yes, no, it all depends. We at ArcoLinux, that's maybe interesting to know that there is difference, and that's good that there is difference. Difference is okay. Was it in this phase or in the other phase? I'm guessing it's still in phase 1, where we say let's install Control find network manager. Network manager. So we are at this point in time in phase 1 already installing an application that we're going to use later in the desktop. So network and enable it. So we have internet. So here's a little bit different. I'm gonna enable this, otherwise no internet. Okay, press any key to continue. And then they say, okay, the next step is this Arch Linux desktop installer, full desktop install script. okay, you say, and then it says, okay, there's a second script. I'm gonna help you. We'll help you. You want to install it? Okay, backstrap. Yes, go for it. Get me the stuff. We're installing it again, and then install and run Arch or launch or install. Okay, so I'm gonna take the first one. The source, again, these two sources. If one is down, you take the other one. Some updates, installation configuration, updates first. The Pacman contrib thing. Yes, go get it, fake root, enter. Personally, I'm a yay kind of guy, but it's it's up to you. Tries and yay, we have both on ArcoLinux, but we need something for our AOR packages. So I'm gonna just say enter, enter, enter. So yes, yes, yes. And while you're at it, start reading all these names, all these packages. It will help you to recognize important ones in the future after 2-3 years of that's a pity, but I guess he wants to build it from scratch. This is going to take for us forever. As you can see, the download speed is not that up to specs. There's an alternative to install yay, and that's yay bin. So the guys at ArcoLinux know that if you type yay, if you download yay with yay, so there's a yay bin on the AOR, and it's faster. It's a binary, so it means you don't need 500 megabytes of Go to build it, and it takes time, this bandwidth, CPU power, etc. But okay, if there's no immediate problem on those fronts, then we build it from scratch with Go. Did not take that long, really. Don't complain, Eric. But just so you know, there's a yay bin version that's just a lot faster. I wanted me to install yay. Update menu, yes, sure, update everything. So upgrade all these buttons, but everything is up to date, so there's no need to do anything here. No need to do this either, nor this, nor that, nor this, nor that. Update keyring, not sure if that's necessary. Let's have a look. Reinstalling, so no waste of time. Install downgrade, maybe if a package is showing you a problem, there's some kind of issue with a new package coming in, then you can downgrade to an earlier, older version. I guess we want out of here. Everything that we see is not necessary for me. Maybe an AOR vote. So when you go to ArcoLinux AOR, people give votes to it. So if you want to do that, you need to have also an account, login, password, and of course this application, and then you can vote as well for something on there. Now that's the updates. Then the install version. This is where it's taking me a little bit longer. Let's say, oh my god, I need to go over all that. So Nano Vim, Pacman contribution, okay, those are installed. Maybe we want to have some more. For instance, NeoFetch I would like to have. Okay, fine, okay. So lots have been skipped because all the rest is already done, which is great. So the things that have not been installed, like this bash completion, I could not live without bash completion. Compression tools are all there. Tap, I'm using Tap now. Network tools. Just a neat little thing, speed test. Don't see anything really. Tap, okay. Those guys can go in. There's one thing I have in mind, and I do hope it reaches the developer. That is the fact that I have actually a not so fast connection. On ArcoLinux we do type in mirror, and then we get the fastest Arch Linux server around. I would like to do that here as well. Not sure it's possible. So that would be great if that would be possible. So Network Manager is in here. Don't need AMD U code because I have an Intel. And all the rest seems okay. Okay, install me all this. There are some things for wireless I see in there as well. Blues, the Bluetooth connection. Enable, please. You need to have 3 lines. Yes, please. Disable the other one. So I'm now relying on the Network Manager to get me running. SSH, well, was not really necessary in my case. Crony, sure, why not? Numlock service on, yes, no. If you have a separate keyboard, numeric pad, then, well, maybe yes, right? Put it on. So numlockx is the package called. I think that's the package anyway. Have a get, yes, okay, fine. That was services. Yeah, that was services. So back, file system. If you want SMB, get it. If you have I was looking for NTFS, here it is, number 3, 4. That's so you can read the Windows drive, but you know me, I'll tell you, don't mix it. Get separate computers. I want to have some Bluetooth, because for the audio I use, I know it's a virtual machine, I'm not going to use it. If it were, I would add some support for my music to have it on my headphone. Printing things. I don't have an HP, so Hewlett Packard printer is this one. And some databases. Back, I'm not going to install it. Back, Xorg. Of course, this is just an virtual box. You can install all kinds of things in here. Let's see what's standard. Nothing is standard, it seems, just these 2. Okay, which gives already a lot of stuff, right? All Xorg. Well, maybe it's a good thing to go back up here, because now we are actually already past phase 2. We're already at phase 3. So we are going to all these phases: install display driver, install graphics and the driver and all that. That's where we at. And the last thing, this is what we did, Xorg server. So these are the ones we install, and those are the ones he installs. It's all good. It's all good. Fonts, default, TTF. Woohoo. These are the Microsoft fonts. Maybe you don't like it. Maybe you do want it. MS. It's a disease, but it's also Microsoft. In here, maybe somewhere, the font I like. Well, Font Awesome is good for i3 and all that. They have these icons, but I am looking for the Nota fonts. Okay, there you are. There was another one that's important for your terminal. Let me go back, see if I can recall it. Sometimes you, okay, still doing stuff. Microsoft fonts, okay. And because of the fact that we've chosen something, there are more packages now from Xorg coming. So maybe you recognize the name Courier and Georgia and Impact and Times New Roman and Verdana and all that thing. You might recognize that. And it's an executable that we are extracting. So I want to go back. Or was it here? I want to give a tip. This one. Install TTF Deja Vu to have a nice startup in terminal letters that don't overlap, because sometimes you install Arch Linux and you say, what the hell, I can't read what's in the terminal because of the fact that you don't have TTF déjà vu. So get it in there, install it anyways as a fallback font, and the terminal, whatever terminal you're using, will probably gonna use it. So the lib input is here. So rather than synaptics, we rely on, for the touchpad, on lib input. So nothing to do here. And video drivers, we don't need video drivers at this point in time. But in VirtualBox, we're gonna watch anyway, because there is also proprietary. So NVIDIA 390, DKMS, custom kernel, and also a custom kernel. So there are only two choices if you want to try out NVIDIA. Then it's these two. Try the first one, doesn't work, try the second one. Back, back, back. Desktop. What desktop will I take? These are the choices. I do want to test this one out. I don't think I've installed that one already. So the rest we have at ArcoLinux, all the things we have. Only LXDE we don't, because we are following the LXQT. So might be a good thing for me to have a look at LXDE, GTK3, why not? So there are applications, of course, we're using in OpenBox, on Awesome, etc. LX Appearance is known to us. LX Render is known to us. LX Terminal, OpenBox, PC, Mon, FM, GTK3, all known. Let's have a look at this lot. It's also OpenBox, but I think I'd rather have a look at the GTK version, 3 version, and go for it. Oh, it's only 50 megabytes, but it's a long list of packages. Read the packages. Cantarell fonts are installed. Sound theme even. LX Appearance OB comps, open box configuration for LX Appearance. And PC Man FM is a file manager. Just like Thunar, Nemo, Nautilus are file managers. Start LXDM, please do. Okay. Back. Display manager. How would you like to be greeted? So you boot up your system, see all these lines, and then you say, who are you? Eric, login, password. So you choose whatever you like. I like to use to find out how this LightDM GTK greeter looks like, because we use LightDM as well. Let's see if it's nice, and enable it. Sure, you need to enable it, so otherwise it won't work. Did I see an error in there? Skipping. Okay, yes. Failed to enable units. Display already exists and is a symbolic link to. Okay, we'll see. We'll see. We know how to fix it. Back. Applications. Office stuff. Office suits. We've made videos about office suits. We have 4, I think now. LibreOffice, WPS Office, OpenOffice, and Microsoft Online. Okay, office language. These are all the spelling and the hyphen and grammatical things. Office tools, yeah, to G calculator. I kind of like it. Selected an Eric. Okay, get it. Calculator. We have that one as well, but of course themed and tweaked, so it's nice. See how many choices you have in Linux for browsers. You choose whatever you like. Falcon is nice. Brave is not here. Take a look at the Brave browser. Let's get something in here. Then we have one browser later on. Seems the server, the Arch Linux server, is a little bit faster now. Maybe it was a little just a bit slow in the beginning. That happens. Torrents, transmission, Qt, great, don't want any. Email, great, don't want any. Multimedia, streamers. Let's not install everything, just go over it. Clementine, etc. Don't see Brave, for instance. Back. Video player, of course, VLC. Okay, video tools. You know I use simple screen recorder for all my videos I've made. It's super tool. Don't want to burn anything. We have MinStick to burn. And then graphically, GIMP, Inkscape, Diacrita. Okay, fine. Development. I use Notepad++ on Windows. I believe it's more or less the same thing. Take a look at it when you're working on Windows, then Notepad++ is a very good tip. Alright, so okay. System, gparted, of course, KeyPass, some different kind of thing like LastPass, VirtualBox if you like. I keep away from Microsoft stuff on Linux, so Wine, that's it. Install stuff from Windows on Linux. The COM key is there. Pacman GUIs, we take the PAMAC EOR any day. There's even PAMAC Classic, didn't know that, so I've learned something today. There's a PAMAC Classic for some reason. Maybe it's the older version, because we had a major change at some point in time that I want to keep that one available for people. I don't know. I'll install it later. I am curious to see. I've gone over everything, of course, but it takes a while as well to install everything, to select everything. If you want one thing out of all these things, well, you have to go into all of these things and wait for the compilation to finish in this case. This is, well, not the longest, but it's a longer installation. I guess we are at the end. Configuration, bash. I don't know. No idea what I should do here now. Okay. Okay. We'll see. Firewall. You can install some rules if you like here. Let's see what they do. Okay. Whoops. Control X. No, not saving anything. Not something I would like to do now. Accounts, users, add user. Maybe it's a good thing to add Eric to it. What do you think? List the users. Great. Back. Sudoers. I suppose I better do this. This is done at some point in the tutorial as well. We need to uncomment this line. Uncomment to allow members of group wheel to execute any command, meaning becoming sudo, being able to, as Eric, to do sudo pacman -s. I think that's done. I think that's done. I guess we're at system D. Services, enable system. Yeah, sure. Okay, a list. I don't think I need to enable anything. As long as my light DM starts, I'm a happy guy. Why is this blank? Strange. Okay. All right. Xorg. A keyboard stuff. Yeah. Wouldn't know what to do here. BE, Belgium. And then the keyboard I'm using. We follow our Calamares. I'm not sure what I take here normally. It's standard filled in Calamares. But it is the keyboard type I need to select. Tip. Somebody at the forum says we need to select blah 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 for Mac. So depending on if you have a laptop for Mac, there are also Apple stuff in here. I think this is indeed the PC 104 is the one we want, but let's just cancel and get out of here because we're gonna make mistakes. Boot. Okay, this is what we all set up, these hooks here. Everything seems to be hashtagged out. All right, let's make the init CPIO, the initial RAM file. Grub. I thought we did already our grub. Oh, it changed in 3. Strange. And I'm just learning just like you guys. This is just new for me as well. Okay, I guess we are at the end. Unmount. Reboot. Sure. Allez. Curious to see. I'm also curious to see how long this took to install everything. The grub is working. Whew. Without grub, it would be a no-show. All right. So this is LightDM. This is me signing in officially for the first time in LXDE. This is the menu we get. And this is very, very minimal. I just installed G-Calculator as extra, Firefox extra. I guess that's it. This is LXRender, is it? What's the name again? It's an Elix appearance, that's the name. But I did click on it, but I don't see it. All right. So now it's still miles away from a website that an operating system that we can actually use a little bit more. Let's go for it. And there we go. We have something really. The start for the applications to go and have a look at LXDE. If you don't know what it is, Arch Wiki LXDE and read and see what it provides and what application you can install. It's all explained on the wiki. Don't wait for us to make anything, because we are probably not going to make anything, because LXQT, well, is believed to be its successor. I've read some, well, 2 ways of understanding it, that it splits and both of them go their own way. We'll see. But there is LXQT for us, that's okay. All right, I can conclude this video. You see, it's possible to actually make an Arch Linux installation, and it's super simple. Let's have some fun. I just don't want to stop. Would you say that it's easy? Let's see. Do I have a terminal? Yeah. Is it easy to install? Nope. Again. ZXTE. All right. Is it easy, you think, to install Cinnamon on this thing? Yes, it is. That's what it takes if I type the password correctly. Ooh, sudo Eric is not in sudoers. I did something terrible. I will be reported to the system. So that means I can't do anything. I can't do this one. No, that's the wrong code at all. So we're out of sheer luck. What was the code again? Editor equals nano vsudo, and then that's not gonna work either, is it? Because I'm not sudo. Let's see. So we can't get to it. So the only thing I can do is go to su, and now I am sudo. So you see that this thing changes here to another kind of icon or letter or sign, and we are now root. So I am now root. Again, I want to edit a particular file. Let's have a look if I did something wrong. Maybe I did. Nano vsudo. Right. Go down. Where was it again? I did do this one. Uncommon to allow members of group wheel to execute any command. So that's okay. Should I be, am I in the group of wheel? That's a good question. Am I in the group of wheel at all? Not sure. Let me pause and look it up. Since all of this is done automatically, I was looking around how to add actually the user Eric to the group. So if Eric is already created, I did not need to do a user add because it was already there. It had to be a user mod as root -a-g wheel Eric. And I think, I hope, I just need to reboot actually so that everything can become clear for the machine that this Eric guy is actually part of wheel, and wheel can actually do a sudo thing. So it's a little bit tricky. It's Linux, right? You have to figure out permissions and all that, but it's what makes it also very safe. Oh, there we go again. Definitely need to figure out also the low keys later. The be-latin -1. So this is the time to see if I'm right, if a reboot was in order or not. And it was. So I needed to be part of the wheel thing. And you saw me change the vsudo kind of thing there, probably in there somewhere. This one. Okay, so we need to change this one. Of course, we need to be sudo to do that. It says here that we told him here the wheel group, wheel all is all, right? So uncommon to allow members of a group wheel to execute any command. And I typed groups and I saw I just got users, but now I have users and wheel. So now I'm also in the group that is allowed to do sudo things, which means I can do stuff like this as well. I can just install yay. Look at that. So never installed number 5. And there you go. You install some stuff. So we are sudo at this point in time. And that finally concludes the video. It's fun to do. Learn something about the user. Oops, here's an option that's not working. So that's too bad for you guys, but Spotio is no longer a correct package build, so you need to fix that yourself. Alright, this was me. I'm out. This is another way how to install ArcoLinux on your system. If you have issues with a variety of distros out there, this is another way to get ArcoLinux on your system. Give it a try. Cheers.